beautiful community. Welcome back to Storytime. So glad you're here. Hope you had another great day at school today. And we're going to continue to focus on healthy living and fitness. And so tonight's story is going to be about my body sends a signal. So really paying attention to your body and using breathing techniques. And I'm also going to end with a really nice meditation technique that you can listen to before you close your eyes to go to bed. So you're feeling calm after we came back from winter break. Hola comunidad de Greenfield, soy Superintendent Galvan, aquí con ustedes leyendo más historias. Este mes vamos a concentrar en ser saludables y hacer ejercicios y escuchar nuestros cuerpos. Este libro de esta noche es Mi cuerpo manda signos. Este es para escuchar lo que está pasando en tu cuerpo, en tu vida, para que puedan ser saludables. Aquí esta historia es para ustedes y también voy a leer otro consejito para que ustedes puedan recibirlo antes de cerrar los ojos. ¿Ok? Gracias por estar aquí. So here we go. My body sends a signal. All right, here we go. My body sends me so many signals to tell me how I'm feeling. Sometimes I sweat, sometimes my stomach rumbles, and sometimes it's hard to breathe. But why? Why does it do that? Well, one day my mom said that I was a very nice surprise. She had a nice surprise for me, but I had to wait until lunch. What could it be? I didn't know. I walked around the house unable to concentrate on anything because I started playing with my books, but my brain kept telling me, stop, I wonder what the surprise is. Stop, what is the surprise? My heart started beating faster and faster. Why? Because I was excited. That's a feeling that my body had. My mom hugged me and told me it's not that long, you just need to wait. And then I heard the doorbell. The doorbell, my mom looked at me and said, do you want to open the door? I said, yes. So I ran to the door, and there, opening her arms wide open, was my grandma and my grandpa. Surprise, Grandma said with a big smile. But who is this big man? My eyes shined, a wide smile, and I was so happy to see my grandparents. My grandpa, he asked me to go with him, and I learned about things that he did in school. I showed him the letters that I had learned to write, and the books that I had read with my mom, and the pictures that I had written and drawn. It was so beautiful. Then I stood up straight, and I held my head up high, and I was proud of myself. That's another feeling. The next day, the weather was perfect for a day out on the town, and so we went to the zoo. When we went to the zoo, the sun was shining bright and the animals were enjoying everything at the zoo. First, we went to the tigers. We were standing by a large glass wall when we could see them clearly. A big tiger was lying just in front of us. He seemed to be asleep or maybe just relaxing. Two boys who were standing beside me decided to annoy the tiger, and they were screaming and knocking on the glass and making faces until suddenly the tiger jumped up and growled at the window. That was scary. My heart jumped. The feeling I had in that moment, I was scared. That's another feeling you have in your body. The next day was I no longer wanted to go over to the zoo to see the other animals. I wanted to go home because now I was scared. I tried to stop that feeling, but I couldn't. Now I was sad. That's another feeling that you feel when you might not feel the best. When we got home, things only got worse. I appeared and my sister decided to play with my robot that was Granny and Granddad had bought me. She dropped it on the floor, it cracked and it popped and it broke. I just couldn't take it anymore. This time, I was angry. And that's another feeling that you get when somebody messes up his stuff or your stuff, right? But you have to think about how do you deal with that. Later, my mom called me and calmed me down before dinner. And I didn't really want to eat because I was upset about my toy. My cheeks got red and I felt very hot. My hands started trembling and I could feel my head shake. Now I was ashamed of my behavior because I was mean to my sister. I'm sorry, I said, and Grandma hugged me and looked into my eyes and said, you had the right to be angry and you needed to let off some steam, but it's not okay to yell at people or to hurt them. You can control your anger instead of letting it control you. And I can teach you some ways to do that. Instead of throwing or kicking because of your anger, just squeeze your anger in your hands so that the anger goes here and doesn't hurt anybody. That was a tip from Grandma. Grandpa said, hi. He came back in the room and he said, now look, I fixed the robot. So Grandpa filled the robe, fixed it. Everybody was happy. And now I felt filled with joy. So, boys and girls, each time your body sends you signals, you need to listen to them. Sometimes your tummy rumbles when you're hungry. Sometimes you're sad when you're bored. And sometimes you get goosebumps when you're cold. Sometimes you get butterflies in your stomach when you're excited or nervous. And there's so many other feelings. And just know that each one of those feelings is perfectly fine. So that was our story for you tonight. And now I'm going to give you one more meditation technique. So this one is called light as a feather. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to lay down again in a comfortable position. Lay down. You're going to close your eyes. And you're going to shake out the wiggles that you're feeling in your body. Shake a little bit. Okay? Wiggle your toes down there on the bottom. Wiggle those toes and notice how they feel. Now, wiggle your feet. Run your feet around a little bit and wiggle those feet, getting all the tingly out. Now, I want you to focus on your ankles and your lower legs. Wiggle those a little bit. And now you're moving up to your upper legs. Wiggle out all that energy that you had today at school. And then I want you to move to your shoulders and your arms. Wiggle that. Roll your shoulders back a little bit, just so you feel that. Now focus on your tummy. Your tummy's relaxing, getting ready to fall asleep. And now your arms, let them float as if you're going to start dreaming and falling asleep. And now let your body lay down wherever you're laying so that you can easily drift off to sleep. And I want you to feel like you're floating like a feather through the wind. And that's your meditation technique for tonight. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Superintendent Galvan with the Greenfield Union School District, sending a great big bear hug from our family to yours.